You're watching W33BY, Detroit, Highland Park, Michigan. The views and opinions expressed on the following show are not necessarily the views and opinions of W33BY, its affiliates, management, or sponsors.
What's up, Detroit? I'm your host, Mr. Mark. You're now tuned in to the greatest love relationship show, Love Detroit and everything else. Welcome back. I got a great show lined up for you guys today. But before I get into my show and before I get into my positive saying for today, I want to take a little bit of time to touch on what's been going on in Minnesota, Louisiana, and Dallas. I just want to send prayers and condolences to all the victims and families out there who have lost a loved one. It's senseless. We should make sure that we are doing our part, not worried about what's going on in other cities, okay? But we need to do our part in raising our families and telling our families what we should or should not be doing. Because you got police brutality, you got blacks killing blacks. It really doesn't matter. Okay, the common denominator is that it's only one race, and that's the human race. Stop with this Black Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter. We wouldn't have to do that if all lives really did matter. You have to understand where the black community is coming from when they talk about police brutality. That's all they're in referencing to. They're not hating white people. They're not hating Asians or anyone else. They want fair treatment across the board. We want fair treatment across the board. This is serious. I mean, we've been talking about this for generations and generations and generations. When will it stop? When? And I just want to leave that there. I'm not gonna go on for it too much longer because I got a great show lined up for you guys today. But understand, keep your emotions in check. Make sure we still have our positive mindsets, because when you change, everything around you will change. I am a firm believer in that, okay? But we want to just go ahead and get right into the show. I have a great show lined up for you guys. I want to talk about the 90-day rule, okay? And 3 different areas in your relationship that's going to help you in your marriage. Whether you have a boyfriend or girlfriend, it's going to help you keep track, and you're not gonna wait until you get to the point where you guys are falling apart before you say, oh, my relationship is falling apart, I might want to put it back together, okay? But the positive saying today is, it is easier to change yourself than it is to try to change somebody else. I got an add-on. That was from the last show, okay? But the add-on to that is, don't block your blessings because you haven't learned your lesson. So many times we're trying to do things and we know we done did the same thing over and over and over again. That's the definition of insanity. Trying to do the same thing over again, but yet we're expecting different results. How many times are you going to allow him or to allow her to disrespect you and then say, oh, well, everything else in the relationship is going well. I don't have no problems here. He has money, or she has this, or he has that. No, if you don't have everything clicking on all cylinders, eventually you're going to be looking at a relationship that you can never put back together, okay? So I want to get into the 90-day rule with that. when you first meet somebody, ladies, men, we all have rules, we all have guidelines that we're not going to tolerate this and we're not going to tolerate that. When you come in, don't have no rules. Do not have an expectation of a person, because see, that's how we get hurt. We come in and we say, hey, well, I expect this person to be this. I want a man like this. I want a woman like this. That's fine. That is fine that you have expectations, but don't put your expectations on a person, okay? You have to take things for face value. That person might be the best person that you have ever seen. But until you get to know that person, okay, you need to set the expectations aside, okay, and now, okay, let me see what this person is giving me. Let me see what he or she is saying. Let me see what he or she is doing. Because only then can I judge that. I cannot judge what I do not see. And that's what happens when we expect something that's not there. A person can be giving us ABC, but we're looking for 1, 2, 3. We're looking for the total opposite of what they're giving us because that's what we want. Okay? We have to make sure that we're not expecting a person to be something before they show us who they are. Okay? The 90-day rule, women and men, do not tell a person that you have a 90-day rule, a 100-day rule, a 200-day rule, or whatever, is because once a person find out that you said, hey, I got a 90-day rule before we take it to the next level, you about to get the best representative of that person. You're not going to get the real person. So don't tell them you have a 90-day rule. No rules. You just go out with a person, and whatever they give you, you make sure that you pay attention to what they saying and doing, because you want an honest person. You want to see if you're dealing with an honest person to see if it lines up. Because when you have expectations of your own, you're going to always be let down because you're looking for something that's not there. Okay? So that's number one. When you want to use that guideline, it's okay to have a 90-day rule or a 20-day rule, or whatever you want to have, but keep it to yourself, because as soon as you tell that person, that man is going to put on the cape and give you a show like you have never seen before. And now the 90-day rule, 10 days go by, 20 days go by, now you're telling your girlfriends and your homeboys, oh man, you won't believe this woman. She's everything I'm looking for. And now you already talking about marriage, and you ain't even been dating this person for 3 months. Pump your brakes a little bit. Just pump your brakes. That's the biggest mistake we make, is because we make decisions on when things start going good instead of waiting to see how that person carry themselves when things start going bad and start falling apart. Because anybody can do it when things are going good. Anybody can do it when things are just going straight and arrow and they don't have no problems. Everyone is happy. But when things start falling apart, that's when we start seeing changes in the person and say, uh-oh, here, now this the real you. Now this the real person. Okay? So the 90-day rule is good. Okay? If you have it, keep it. But don't tell nobody that you expect anything from them. Okay, on the first date, a lot of times we get to the point where we're talking about what type of man we want, and we're telling that woman and we're telling that man, nuh-uh. It's because you are already out on a date with that person. Okay, that's enough. Okay, you want to make sure that you don't give that person no type of cheat sheet to program themselves to be somebody else. Because when you do that, now that person, if they really like you, they're going to program themselves to be exactly who you want them to be. And then eventually they're going to have to show the real them, and it's going to be too late. Your feelings going to be involved, emotions going to be involved, and now you're going to be mad because you didn't take the proper time and patience to just step back and say, let me analyze what's going on here. Okay, so that's it for the 90-day rule. Now there's three key areas in your relationship that you can do daily. Do not wait I repeat, do not wait until your relationship is falling apart before you put it back together. Okay? Don't wait. And you won't have to try to, rush over here or rush over there in order to try to put things back together. Okay? Number one is action. Action. Whenever your relationship is taking a turn or it start getting rocky, what type of action are you taking? Not the other person. What type of action are you taking? Okay, these are self-evaluations that you can do every single day. How hard are you working for your marriage? How hard are you working for your relationship? Okay, that's action first. Then we have reaction. Okay, a reaction. We're looking for how that person is going to respond to what we are doing. See, it's easy. Relationships and marriages are easy, even though we're going to go through some struggles. But if everybody is on the same page from the beginning and they don't wait weeks and months and years before they say, okay, you've been doing this, you've been acting up for 3 years now, I'm getting ready to put my foot down. No, they're going to look at you like, what you talking about? I've been doing this for years. I've been doing this for months. Now you want to say something? So don't ever let your relationship get to the point where you're frustrated. Now you have to talk to somebody. It is easier for a person to listen to you when you say, hey, can we go somewhere and talk? Women love that. Women love that, okay? Don't wait until you're yelling at each other before you decide, okay, well, I expect this or I want that. No, it's too late then, because now that person has a defense mechanism set up, and now you have to go back and forth with each other, and no one's hearing each other because you're talking at each other, okay? So you want to have action, okay? With your action, look at how the person is responding. Do you have a positive or negative response? If you have a positive response, proceed. If you're getting a wall, a defense mechanism, a negative response, step back, see what it is that you're doing wrong, and try your approach again. And last, results. Action is going to get a response or a reaction, and then now you're waiting for the results. But you control that. These are self-evaluations. Both parties need to do this. A man needs to do this, and a woman needs to do that, okay? Because everyone have needs. But when we expect a person, oh, you supposed to cook, you supposed to do this, you supposed to do that. A woman cooks because she loves her family. She don't have to cook. If she wants to go out, guess what? You guys going to be going out. Stop putting an expectation on a person. That's how we end up getting hurt. She didn't wash my clothes. She didn't do this. Because when we put an expectation on a person, and that person don't even know that that expectation is there. They don't know it's there. So then we said we fell out of love. When you didn't fall out of love, you just didn't know it was there. Okay? But when I come back, we're going to take a break. Okay? But when I come back, we're going to talk about the 5 love languages. The 5 love languages. So don't go nowhere. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back after the break.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here. You can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space with the air, like I don't care, baby. By the way, because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof.
Welcome back to the show. Welcome back. I'm still so happy because I know that this great country has great potential. Okay, that's why I'm happy because I see the potential in us. I see the love. I'm not focusing on the negative. I'm not focusing on the bad. I see the love that we have. Okay, so just keep in mind that no matter what's going on around you, if you can have the right mindset, a positive mindset, you can change anything around you. It has to change, but it starts with us. Let's not look at what everybody else is doing. What everybody else has something for them. Okay? It's okay to be yourself. You want to know why? Because everybody else is taken. Be yourself. Be the best you can be every single day. Every single day. And that's going to take us to our next segment with the 5 love languages. Okay? This is key. The 5 love languages, it breaks down any and every relationship. Any and every relationship. You got physical touch, you got acts of service, you got receiving gifts, you got quality time, and words of affirmation. Okay? See, physical touch, that doesn't have to be anything, physical, okay, or intimate. Okay, you can touch somebody. I love the back of my head being stroked, or I love when you put your arms around me. Okay, you got to find out what love language that you're dealing with before you can really say, hey, I know this person needs. I have this person needs. Because you can have everything else down, her color, her favorite restaurant, what she likes to do. But if you don't know her love language, you guys can communicate all you want to, but it's going in one ear and out the other because you're not communicating in their love language. Okay? Oftentimes, we do something for a person, it's pretty much what we want in return. Oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes, hey, you know what? I bought him some underwear, and I bought him some deodorant, and then a woman gets to the point where she says, can you go and, get some personal items for me? And the man, we look, personal items? Nah, honey, I ain't gonna be able to do it. I ain't gonna be able to do it. No, no, no. Because, see, we gotta get past ourselves. When you talking about love, you are no longer talking about yourself. Okay? You have to make a sacrifice. You have to have time and you have to pay attention. Once again, that brings back the 3 areas. Okay? Attention, reaction, and results. Those are daily self-evaluations that you can do. So that's physical touch. Okay? And then you got acts of service. Now, acts of service can be, hey, I love it when a woman folds my laundry. I love it when she folds my laundry. I love it when she cooks me dinner. I love it when she meets me at the door when I'm coming in for work. Okay, these are all types of acts of services. Okay, it don't have to be anything extravagant. I'm talking about just little things that you did, that you took time out to do for somebody else. Okay? That's a love language. Women love when a man do things for them. Men love when women do things for them. You don't have to say a word. Okay? When you do all 5 love languages for a person, now that's an overflow. Okay? That's like you pouring water into a glass. Eventually that glass is going to fill up. And once that glass fill up, now we have to deal with, okay, where do I put the rest of it? In the other person. Once your love tank is filled, guess what? Now you got something to give. But some of us, we run it on fumes. You ever had a car that was just almost on E all the time? If you're always running off of fumes, guess what? Now the other parts of the car have to work harder in order for it to work, and pretty soon it's gonna fall apart. It's just gonna stop working. It's gonna shut down. That's how a relationship is. That's how a relationship is. Would you put water in your gas tank? No, because it takes gasoline. So if you know your relationship needs love, why would we give it anything else? We take care of our cars better than we do ourselves. This can't happen. A lot of times we go to church and hey pastor, how you doing? But then you talk to your husband like he means nothing to you. That man, that husband, that wife in your house has to be the first lady, has to be the first man. They have to be the most important people to you in your life. Do not go to church and you're giving more praise to your pastor than you are your husband. That is wrong. That is wrong. Hey, pastor, how you doing? Great sermon. And then you're going to go home with your husband, who you say you love, or with your wife, who you say you love. And then you treat them like anything. You talk to them like in any way, type, shape, or form. That cannot happen. Okay? That cannot happen. So you got physical touch and acts of service. Okay. Receiving gifts. This is good because I love gifts, especially the ones that's not bought. Okay, you make a card, you give a gift that got my favorite color in there. My favorite color is blue. Okay, I love blue, but if you do those small things, people love that. Women love receiving gifts. Okay, every woman that ain't her love language, man. Well, I'm just gonna go buy her. Every woman won't receive. No, everyone likes a little bit of everything, but there are some main languages that we have to have. Okay, people love receiving gifts. I don't think that's one of the main love languages, but it might be for somebody else. But it's up to two people in that relationship to decide. Okay. It ain't about what your girlfriend think. It ain't about what your homeboys think. You got two people in a relationship, in a marriage, that has to work it out. Okay? So receiving gifts is a easy and excellent way, to keep that relationship going. It can be candy, it can be flowers, and you do these things often. Okay? This is where you're keeping the relationship afloat, and you don't have to worry about it falling apart. You don't have to worry about that. Okay? Physical touch, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time. This is key. This is very important, people. Listen, quality time is very important because it's not how much time that you guys spend together. It's what you do with that time. Some people spend every day together. Some people are retired right now, okay, and spend every day together, but they don't have any quality time. You got one person on a computer, you got one person on a phone, you got one person watching TV, and nowadays people got two separate rooms. Are people married for a long period of time, or are they putting up with somebody for a long period of time? There is a difference. There is a difference. A marriage is a marriage where two people are doing their part to bring them closer together as one. But then we have some people who are just together and they tolerate one another. I cannot even fathom the thought of being with somebody I don't want to sleep with every single night. So quality time is important. I don't care if you walk 2 blocks. You don't have to get in the car. It doesn't take money to have a effective relationship. It does not. Stop saying we got to go to the movies. Stop saying we got to go to dinner. No, when the last time have you just said, hey, let me hold your hand and walk around the block? When the last time have you said that? When the last time you spent time with your husband or your wife or your girlfriend, your boyfriend, and said, you know what, I appreciate you for going out in this world, providing for our family, when you have the quality time to do so. When you have quality time, you want to take time to talk about necessary things that's going to bring you guys closer together. Okay? I know we have disagreements, but you don't have to have arguments. You don't have to raise your voice at nobody. Those are choices. Those are choices we make. Okay? So we got physical touch, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and words of affirmation. This is huge too. How a woman feels is going to tell you how that relationship or marriage is going to go. You are fueling a woman, you are fueling a man with good words. I appreciate you. Thank you. I love you. I love when you do this. I love when you do. See, words of affirmation makes that person feel good. So when she leave that house, another man or another woman should not be saying good things about a person when you just put them down. Don't ever leave the house and you two are not on the same page and happy. That woman leave the house, you look good. You do something with your hair, you know she ain't did nothing with her hair but combed it. She probably ain't even do that. But you tell her, I love your hair. I love everything about you. So when she go into that world, can't another man or another woman touch what you have. Nobody should be able to come in and wreck your marriage or wreck your relationship when you guys are on the same page. So those are the 5 love languages, okay? I got a couple more minutes before I get out of here, but I want to just touch bases with the 5 love languages again. It is imperative that we do it. Action, reaction, results. What are you getting from your marriage or your relationship on a daily basis? What are you getting from the other person that you want or that you need? Don't wait until everything falls apart. Okay? That's going to conclude my show. But I want people to, if you need a host for an event of any kind, please contact me at area code 313-978-7909. Or you can reach me via email, marksturdivant53@gmail.com. But that concludes my show for the day, and I'll see you guys next Wednesday at 1 p.m.